Hey Paul, how you doing? This is Alexis.
Well, all things considered, I'm doing pretty good.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Did I catch you at an okay time to chat?
I made time for you, 6 to 7.
I appreciate it. I really do. So I'm super happy that we got a chance to get on the phone today. Maria told me that she chatted with you a little bit at the door. And our goal today is to figure out what we can do to stop the auction. So typically on these appointments, we'll tell you a little bit about who we are, what we do, and why we do it, of course. And then we ask that you share with us, what's the situation so far? Have you talked to the lender? Just some details about where you're at right now. And then our goal, like I said, by the end of the appointment is to understand course of action to stop the auction. Does that sound fair?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, great. So just a little bit about us, and I'll be brief because we are here for you. We've stopped hundreds of foreclosures. We've been in this business for over 10 years. And over the years, we just realized that there's no reason any homeowner should lose their house to foreclosure. There's so many options for them. But we do have an understanding that most people calling you, texting you, they just want to buy the house, right? I'm sure you've received plenty of those calls.
I received those calls before it went into foreclosure.
You said you received those calls before it was in foreclosure?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've been receiving calls to buy my house for years.
Yeah. So tons of investors are calling you.
If they buy it, they want to renovate it, and then they want to rent it out for like $5,000 to $6,000 a month.
Right. Sounds like you got a really nice piece of property there then. $5,000 to $6,000 a month for rent. Are you an investor, Paul?
No. First of all, I'm 59 years old.
Okay.
I worked for Wells Fargo Finance for 16 years. So I bid mortgages, I foreclosed on mortgages. I know enough to be dangerous to myself. I kind of gotta be careful. I've been in business for 20-some years. Back in the 70s, I was an officer in the Marine Corps for 4 years. So I have a good bit of life experience. My wife and I have been married for 41 years. So
Wow.
We've been through a good bit together.
Wow. That's incredible. It sounds like you've had a really exciting, career in life. That's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of ups and downs, and every few years I think they hit a low point, and every few years after that I think they hit a high point. So
Right.
keep plugging along.
Right. Well, with your background in finance, it sounds like you have an opportunity to understand how these mortgages work. Where are you at right now with the mortgage company? What has happened so far?
Well, I've been in negotiations with the mortgage company ever since. Well, first of all, I had a business that was generating about $10,000 a month, and because of COVID, my 2 largest dealers went out of business, and my business collapsed. It was a C corp. And the difference between my 2020 tax return and my 2021 tax return is horrendous. My 2021 tax return shows like $33,000 loss, but I had good profit the previous year, and that's where the trouble began. And I kept paying my private investor and stopped paying my house. And I'm about just 18 months past due on the house payment. Back last September, I could no longer afford to pay my private investor, and I basically filed a Chapter 7 to do away with, me and my wife filed a joint Chapter 7 to do away with all the problems I had. We didn't have a lot in the way of credit card debt or anything like that. It was just primarily the private investor and the mortgage. Chapter 7 is discharged in February.
Look at all this.
Built and negotiated with the lender. They were going to do a loan modification. They were going to take my mortgage from 2.5% to 3/4%. I said, I'm sorry, I just can't agree to that. That just doesn't make any sense. And then they suggested I contact the Georgia Homeowners Assistance Fund, which I did. I applied and everything. They said, we will consider giving you $50,000 to pay towards your mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
So contact lender. The lender said, no, the lender was the one that recommended I contact the mortgage homeowners, the business fund. Contacted the lender. I said, well, what can we work out? And said, the only thing we can work out is full payment. You have to come up with a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I counted my pennies, nickels, and dimes, and I said, well, it's possible I can come up with 18 grand. So I go back to the state of Georgia, and I said, it's possible that I can work something out with the lender. And they said, okay, we'll send you the form that you and the lender have to sign. So they emailed me the form, which I forwarded to the lender, called the lender up, said, fill out the form, you sign it, I get back to the Georgia, homeowner assistance fund. They said, oh, we don't fill out this form this way. They have to submit it electronically. And we submit it back to them electronically.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. Called Georgia's homeowners. They said, no, this is the way we do it. And if you want it done, they will fill out this form and you will submit this form. Call the lender back. Sorry, sir, we will not do that. Period. End of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
They have to submit it our way and we submit it back our way. I said, well, can you call the point of contact of the state of Georgia? No, sir, we're not allowed to call them.
Mm-hmm.
Call the state of Georgia. You call it contact my contact at the lender. No, sir, we're not allowed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much where I'm using, I've been in contact with the same attorney who did my chapter 7. He's gonna file chapter 13, which I know 100% will stop foreclosure.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm gonna have to start paying the mortgage, which is about $3,750. He estimates approximately that the payment to the trustee would be about $1,300 a month. We're now in a position where we can probably afford that every month. And I said, well, I talked to the attorney. I said, what about this problem I'm having getting the state of Georgia and my lender getting together? He says, well, I got a couple Chapter 13 bankruptcies who are facing the same thing you are. He said, it's going to take you 6 months to a year to get all worked out. He said, if you get that $50,000, it will go towards the mortgage, and then the trustee will adjust when you continue to pay the trustee, which means it would go down tremendously. And that's pretty much where I stand. I was going to call paperwork from my attorney tomorrow so he can file a chapter 13. And I know I'm 100%
You guys
certain
confused?
that's not foreclosure. I don't have any problem with that. When your partner or employee came to the door today, I said, can you help me maneuver this problem I'm having between the state and the lender?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you probably can help me there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd be interested in talking to you.
Man,
So that's pretty much what I do.
a lot of good stuff. So I want to make sure I understand correctly. And first, before I start to explain my understanding of the situation, I do want to say, Paul, that you are in a better position than 90% of the people that I talk to. You know, you have an understanding of how this works. You're already working with an attorney. You have an understanding of the finance, the mortgage company. You're communicating with them. It sounds like you're playing extreme offense with them. Most of the people that I talk to, I say, have you called the lender at all yet? And they say no. So I do want to say that you are definitely taking the right action steps, and I'm really, really happy that we got a chance to get on the phone today. But I do want to make sure I understand. Go ahead.
I've been communicating with Ellen at the loan care mortgage services department.
Who's your servicer?
Communicating back and forth. Servicer is called loan care.
Loan care. Got it.
Yeah, I'm dealing with Ellen there. Her and I've been talking on the phone probably at least 12 months, maybe longer, working things out. First with the modification that I turned down, and then second with this over business fund.
Got it. So you got into foreclosure because the business failed a little bit, fell behind on COVID. You're paying back your private investor, and then it got to a point where you weren't paying the mortgage. Basically, you're $68K behind right now. HAF said they would take care of it, 50 of it, and you said you would be willing to come up with the other 18. But now the issue is that HAF and loan care are having a really, really tough time communicating. Is that right? And my understanding from here is that your attorney's going to file you a Chapter 13 bankruptcy to buy you guys more time.
Well, no, we would, he'll file a chapter, well, it buys you more time. That may end up being what it does.
Mm-hmm.
But we will go ahead with the If we get the money from the Georgia Homeowners Assistance Fund, that will go towards the 68 grand we're past due, and the attorney will have the trustee lower our payment. So our payment would go from like $1,300 a month to $250, $300 a month.
And when you say,
My attorney did say he has other people in the same boat. He said, it takes 6 months to a year to get these people to come together. He says, I've had 2 clients actually get the money and reduce the payment to the trustee. He says, I've got 2 clients still fighting every month.
mm-hmm. Okay. And when you say trustee, are you referring to the all the fees and attorney costs that are coming along with the situation here?
Well, the bankruptcy trustee, yes.
Okay, got it. Just want to make sure that was clear. So the first option that we ever go through with homeowners is a loan modification. And based on my understanding of your situation, you did go for a loan mod already, and it was denied. Is that correct?
No, it was approved. It was approved.
So what happened
They were
then?
going to take my rate from 2.5% to 6.75%.
And it just wasn't.
My payment was going to go from $2,750 to $3,800 for 30 years. And I said, well, wait a minute. If I file a Chapter 13, I'm going to pay $2,750 plus $1,300. I'm going to pay $4,000 for 5 years, and then I'm just going to pay $2,750. I'll still be at 2.5%. Mathematically, it just does not make any sense at all to go through the modification. So I basically turned it down.
Got it. So your mortgage payment is $2,750 right now, and that's where you want to stay.
Correct. Well, it goes up and down every year with property tax, but it's escrow, so insurance, property tax, it fluctuates a little, but give or take, that's where it is.
Okay, got it. Now the second option, so the loan mod doesn't make sense for you. You understand how it works. It just doesn't make sense because it'll take your rate up so much. You locked in a good rate a couple years ago, I assume.
Correct.
Did you refinance at that time? Because the second option that we go through with every homeowner is a refinance. It sounds like you may have refinanced already.
We did. We refinanced at that rate right before COVID.
Got it.
The refinance was put through like a month before COVID hit.
Got it. Okay. So there's not much equity left in the property.
Well, first of all, it's a VA loan, and I didn't take any money out. I've never taken equity out of my home. But it is a VA loan, and it was one of those modifications where I didn't even verify income, and they didn't do an appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
I know what my balance is on the home. I don't know what appraised values right now are ridiculous. I don't know how they come up with comps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trust me, I know, right? It's ridiculous what's going on in the market. Okay, so that's option 1 and 2. The third thing that we go through is a bridge loan. So when it comes to the 50K from HAF or the 18K that you have to come up with yourself, when it comes to the 68K, that is the reinstatement fee. If HAF doesn't cover that, the goal is to file bankruptcy, then to start paying the mortgage again, and kind of just wait until they have the stars aligned. Is that the correct understanding?
Well, I'll start paying the mortgage again, but I'll also start paying the trustee about $1,300 a month.
Mm-hmm.
For 6 months. Basically, in Chapter 13, you're going to take care of the past due amount over a 6-month period.
Gotcha. So that's a better fit, something that you can afford, the $2,750 plus the $1,300.
Correct. I feel like at this point in time, again, we can build ourselves back to the point where we can afford that.
Okay, got it. And they're gonna take that 68K in whole and spread it over the 60-month period, or just the 18K? What are you prepared for?
Now they're gonna take the 68 and spread it over 60 months.
Okay.
Okay. If the Georgia Homeowners Assistance Fund pays the 50K, then the bank $600 a month.
Okay, awesome. Sweet. So those are the first three options that we go with. Option 4, 5, 6, and 7 all have to do with selling the house. My understanding right now is you don't have any interest in selling the house. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, and when all these people, even before I stopped paying the mortgage, I was getting offers on the house.
Right.
I said, yeah, but what the hell am I gonna do?
Right. Yeah.
You know.
I mean, if you know your house can rent for 5 to 6K, why would you ever leave if you're paying $2,750?
Right, and we looked at 2 bedrooms. I mean, when we first moved to Atlanta in 2006, we rented a 1-bedroom apartment for the 4 of us, 2 dogs and a cat. No, 1 dog and 2 cats. A 1-bedroom apartment for $600 a month. I call that same apartment now rents for $1,300 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. That's why so many people are living on the streets.
Yeah. And you and your wife, you guys have been married for 41 years. Do you guys still have kids living in the house with you?
We have 2 adult sons, and they're each going to start paying $500 a month rent.
Okay. Nice. Nice. You said time to charge them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. But yeah, option 4, 5, 6, and 7 all have to do with selling the house. There's no need for us to go through that. And then option 8, which we don't recommend to anyone, but it sounds like you're already moving forward with it, you have a plan of action, is bankruptcy, of course. Now you seem to know the difference between 7 and 13. So what I think would be best is just for us to stay in touch. You know, like I said at the beginning, you're in a better place than 90% of the people that I talk to. You understand how this works, and you have a plan of action. So if I could just stay in touch with you, Paul, if you need any assistance, if you need us to review any loan documents. We've been negotiating with banks for over 10 years. We looked at hundreds of loan modification applications. So we like to do this and come out and meet homeowners where they're at. So if you need anything and anything that your attorney is not providing for you, we're more than happy to be the follow-up service and help you out.
Well, I was hoping you would be the type of person who says, well, we can get the state of Georgia and loan care to talk to each other.
Only an angel can do that. I'm not there yet.
Well, many years ago, I was running 3 car lots in a finance company, and Fred was changing on.
Now it's time to listen.
Alexis,
What's up?
that was sweet. That was sweet.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
that
have
was
this guy's life story.
Huh?
We have his life story on the board.
You
It's
was
so good.
patient and smooth.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah. The most powerful thing you can do is just shut up. Like,
I just
Yeah.
Don't-
go.
Yeah, because he gave me, I mean, I think once you started, or you asked the question, and he gave all that, and I was like, Jesus, you're right. Just shut up.
just shut up. Yeah. Ask a good question,
Yeah.
silent. Ask a good question, silent.
Yeah.
The mistake that people make is either talking too much or asking the wrong questions.
Okay.
If you ask the wrong questions, you don't get this.
Yeah.
If you talk too much, you don't get this. But if you do those 2 things, be quiet, ask a good question. I mean, the guy said, call me anytime, you know? I don't think it's a deal there, because he knows what he's doing. Like,
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
professional.
Right.
69
With
years.
69 years old and like he already was doing
Yeah.
mortgages, he probably knows how to get around some of this stuff. But yeah, so hopefully that was valuable for everyone.
Yeah, we-
Thank you guys.